Alderwood, it is great to be with you. We're coming to the end of our ministry year, and we want to take a moment to give you an update. I'm Wyatt. I'm the lead pastor here at Alderwood. Jason Carter joining me, the chairman of our elder board. And there's so much to celebrate in this last year that God has done that we want you to know about.
Yeah, it's been another incredible year of blessings for sure. For anyone who doesn't know, a couple years ago, we spun up a vision for midweek, an opportunity for people to come, bring their whole family for adult programming, children's programming, teen programming here on Wednesday nights. And that continues to be a wonderful blessing. We grew from doing that 2 quarters this year to actually doing it over 3 quarters this year. And through that, we had 90 people find their first group experience at Alderwood through midweek, which is incredible as we're starting to see some people plug in for the first time.
Yeah, I've got to be a part of that. It's been amazing. Sharing a meal with new people. Like, if you haven't been a part of midweek yet, come join us.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Additionally, Alderwood Espanol, a couple years ago, we were just absolutely blessed to be able to bring a full-time pastor on to oversee this growing ministry from a root growth thing here at Alderwood out of a life group. Alderwood Espanol has grown to being an average of over 80 people every Sunday, which is incredible. Think of this as a group that started as a small life group and has grown that big. They've actually outgrown their space. Previously in the fireside room, and they're now over in a bigger room in the Compassion Center, where they're actually already starting to blossom and break at the seams a little bit, peaking at over 100 people on some Sundays, which is again awesome. Incredible. Yeah. Additionally, in the next gen world, this year we did a campaign called Send a Kid to Camp. And we want to thank you personally for those of you who gave to that. We were able to raise $50,000, and just so much fruit came from that, relationships being built, people learning more about Jesus, obviously, our teens learning more about Jesus. But one thing in particular is we want to share that there were 20 students who were baptized for the first time, who are publicly making that statement of, I want to follow Jesus with my life, which is, again, just an incredible testimony to how powerful camp is, and thank you for being a part of making that happen for students.
Yeah, our Next Gen team is just getting back this week from camp. They're exhausted, but so much joy. I mean, so many stories of what God has done. We're still hearing all of them, but there's no doubt that students' lives were changed in these last couple of weeks, and that's in huge part to your generosity, so thank you.
Yeah, there's a debate going on about how many showers it takes to get camp off of you, but we haven't
more than
quite
one,
resolved
that's
that
for
yet.
sure.
Yeah. Additionally, a couple years ago, we were able to launch a classic service at 8 a.m. That's a service that we did that for 2 reasons. One is to envision a little bit of a different worship style, something a little bit more intimate feeling. And also we did that as an opportunity to help create pockets for growth and scale, more seating, because Alderwood has grown tremendously and continues to grow. And we're very thankful to make an announcement this morning that is, we're going to be launching a new modern service at 8 a.m. starting in September. So again, this is an opportunity to have more people be able to come find worship services here on Sunday mornings at Alderwood Community Church.
Yeah, so the 8 a.m. service will be exactly like what we've been doing at 9:30 and 11. And I really want to invite you to consider being a part of the early group that will come and make this 8 a.m. service a success. Our heart behind doing this new service is really to create space for people to come and join us here at Alderwood. Our heart, our belief for our church is that we don't exist only for ourselves, that part of our mission is to go and to share Jesus with our community, with the world around us. And part of being able to do that is actually having the space for them to come, so that you can have confidence when you come with a friend, with a neighbor, there's going to be a parking spot for them. There's going to be space in the pews where you just sit with them. And if you've been in 9:30 or 11 for these last few months, you've noticed that's not always true right now. It's very hard to find space here. And so we're going to create a new service to help alleviate that. And we need some church planners. We need some people who are going to come and be the first to be a welcoming presence, to meet new people, to make that 8 a.m. experience a great experience for people who come. I hope that you'll consider joining us for that. One other bonus, if you come at 8 a.m., it means you can catch every single NFL game in the fall. You're not going to miss any of them. You'll be home in plenty of time for those 10 a.m. kickoffs. Come join us for that. We'll have some special food for you in the morning, some donuts, the freshest coffee, all sorts of reasons.
Objectively better coffee.
Yeah, come join us at 8 a.m. and we're excited to see God use that, both for the people that are there, but also as we create more space at 9:30 and 11 for the new folks that are going to be a part of our church that we haven't met yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we talked a little bit about some of the attendance growth and the fact that we're doing this so that we can have more opportunity for people to join us on Sunday mornings. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the growth that we're seeing in both finances and attendance?
Yeah, if you've been with us the last few years, you've heard kind of a consistent message over and over, which is we have all these new people coming to Alderwood, which is we're so excited about and is amazing. And here's the trajectory of our attendance growth. And then also our giving hasn't really grown and it's pretty flat and it's a little growing a little bit. And so we've been really asking people who are new to our church to jump in financially and support us with your giving. And we're really encouraged this year to be able to show you that these trends are changing. And one thing that's changed is our growth has slowed significantly. We were seeing growth in the 20%, 30% range the last couple of years. Our growth this year was only 3.5, still growing, but much slower. I think a lot of that is because of what we said earlier, that it has been harder to come to Alderwood of late as we filled up. It's been harder to find a parking spot, harder to get seating. And so we want to help change that. But at the same time, what we're very grateful for is that our people who have come have started giving. And that's many of you who are listening. And so giving to our general fund this last year is up 17%, which is a huge blessing. It allows us to continue to do what we're doing and to meet the opportunities that God has given us. We expect that we're going to end this year right in the black as far as our budget and our revenue. So grateful to all of you who are giving generously. Thank you especially to those who started giving this year. If you're with us and if Alderwood's your home and you haven't started yet worshiping with your finances here, we invite you to start that we need our people to come together, not just in person, not just on Sunday mornings, but also financially to make everything that happens here possible. So thank you.
Also coming up in September is the favorite time of year. It's the annual business meeting. Now, before you turn this video off, hear me out. The annual business meeting is your opportunity to take part in helping to shape what this next year of Alderwood ministry looks like. And that's done in a couple of ways. One is to vote to approve the slate of elders. And the other is to officially vote on our 3 proposed budgets. And that's for the general fund, the Compassion Center, and the Missions Fund. And that's your opportunity in September to come do that, be a part of that. That's going to be at the end of all 3 of our normal Sunday services. And if you're a person who loves to get into some of the details and wants to know more information about the budget in particular, you can do that on September 21st at 9:30 a.m. in room E106. That's a budget Q&A opportunity for you to come learn a little bit more before we actually vote at the business meeting. And then there's some bonus this year. We're excited about this. For this past year, we've been talking a lot about the essential doctrine. We're going to ask the congregation this year to officially vote to adopt the essential doctrine, and then also to adopt some changes to our bylaws, which documentation about how we operate. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. For a long time, Alderwood has had a very detailed, very long doctrinal statement that has a ton of amazing truth in it, but also a number of positions on some things that, in our opinion, are really secondary issues. And for a couple of years, the heart of the leadership team, the board, and myself has been that we need to clarify what is most important. What are the essential beliefs of what it means to be a follower of Jesus? And what can we expect everyone here to unite around? Everyone who says, I'm a part of Alderwood, I'm a follower of Jesus, what are we going to hold to as core? And we call that our essential doctrine. We exist in this amazing moment that God has put us in where we're in a growing community. Linwood is growing. Snohomish County is growing. More and more people are coming who have no church background, who didn't grow up in the church, who don't have a church home. And, church attendance is no longer a cultural value in our world. And so we want to be able to say really clearly to people who are understanding who Jesus is for the first time, this is what it means to follow Jesus. So the essential doctrine is trying to get at that. We released it this last fall. We had an 8-week teaching series, teaching through each of the 8 points of the essential doctrine. If you missed that, I encourage you to go and watch those messages. You can find those online at alderwood.cc/essentials, which is also where you can find the text of our essential doctrinal statement. That was about a year ago we were doing that, and we've been taking comments from people and answering questions. We've made a couple of small updates to the text of that statement, and so you can find the most up-to-date version online, again, at alderwood.cc/essentials. And this September's business meeting is where we're finally going to vote to make that the official doctrinal statement of our church. And so you can join us for that business meeting. You'll get to be a part of that vote. That requires an update to our bylaws as an organization because our bylaws reference our doctrinal statement. And the board this year decided to take the opportunity to do an update to our bylaws as a whole. Alderwood has existed for over 100 years. We've always been about the same thing. We're about following Jesus, preaching the scriptures, inviting people to respond to the offer of salvation in Jesus' name. But our organization has changed a lot over the years. Our church started a chicken farm with 30 people. We're now, closer to 2,000 people on a Sunday morning and staff and all of that. And so we wanted to update our bylaws to represent the current state of who we are and how we operate. I don't think you're going to find any changes in there that are super shocking or surprising, but you can look at every word in those bylaws before you vote at the business meeting. And if you have questions about any of this, you have questions about essential doctrine or the bylaws change, you can come again to a Q&A meeting on August 31st at 9:30 a.m. in the Manor. If you can't make it in person, also invite you to just reach out digitally. You can reach us at reachus@amcc.org, and we respond to every message that comes in there. Somebody from our leadership team would be happy to get in touch with you there as well.
Yeah. So just quick date recap. There's September 28th is our annual business meeting. If you want an opportunity to have a Q&A and dive in a little deeper into any of our budgets and understand some numbers there, that's going to be on September 21st at 9:30 a.m. in E106. And if you're very curious to know more about the essential doctrines or the changes to the bylaws, there's an opportunity for you to come to a Q&A on August 31st at 9:30 a.m. in the Manor.
One last thing I'm very excited about is our Vision Sunday, which is just around the corner. We're going to gather together at our normal service times on Sunday morning on August 24th, and we're going to talk about not just what's ahead, but who we are as a church, what we care about, what we're passionate about, what we think it means to follow Jesus together. And this year we're doing this a little bit differently. We really want Vision Sunday to be an opportunity for you to invite friends and neighbors who don't yet have a church home, people who you are investing in relationally, who you want to sit next to on a Sunday morning and worship together with. Vision Sunday is going to be a great opportunity. I'm going to be speaking right to them. This is who we are as a church. This is what we want to invite you to, and this is where we're headed moving forward. And at the same time as we have these services on the 24th, we're going to have a party going on all morning long as well, called our block party. We're doing this a little bit differently than we have in the past. Our block party is going to run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. all morning long. There's going to be food all morning, breakfast burritos in the morning, more food on the grill in the afternoon. There's going to be bouncy houses. There's going to be games for your kids. There's going to be live music. There's going to be all kinds of amazing stuff. And the hope is that either before or after the service you choose to come to, you would join us and hang out and have a great time with your friends, with your neighbors at the block party. We promise it's going to be an amazing time. And so we hope that you'll carve out some extra time that morning to come and enjoy it with us.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Alderwood. Wyatt here with Tim Epp, the treasurer for our board of elders, and we're going to give you an update on our budgets for this next year, as well as a recap of the past year. So, Tim, let's jump in. Let's start with our general fund.
All right, Wyatt, thank you. Yeah, this is the proposed budget for the fiscal year 25-26 that is going to be put forward for member approval at our annual meeting. The general fund for this last year was budgeted at $3.79 million. Our actual income from regular giving is coming in, looks like a little bit higher from that, which is great. And our actual expenses are going to be staying below that number. So staff is doing a good job managing to that. For next year, for the 25-26 fiscal year, we are proposing a budget of $4.15 million, which is a 9.5% increase over this year's budget. And the board does feel that this is a responsible ask of the members.
Yeah, we've been so encouraged this year with giving. We asked you last year to start considering partnering with us. If you hadn't, we've seen so many new families join us in partnering financially, giving to the general fund. So thank you for that. Our church continues to grow, and we know that there are new families every week who haven't yet started giving, and so we're going to continue to ask that. We're also adding a service in this next year, and so that's part of the reason for the growth in the budget is we're going to accommodate the people that God continues to bring to us. And so, yeah, excited for what is ahead, and we look forward to God providing that money through the generous giving of our folks. So thank you. All right, let's take a look at missions.
Yeah, missions. So for this year, fiscal year 24-25, our budget was $465,000. Giving to that fund came in a little bit short of that, but staff did a good job of managing expenses and kept that below what actual giving was coming in. For this next year, though, we are proposing a modest increase to $498,000. That's about a 7% increase over this year's budget.
Okay, thank you. And what about the Compassion Center budget?
Yeah, Compassion Center budget was in a similar situation this year to missions. For 24-25, our budget was $475,000. Again, actual giving came in a little bit shy of that, but staff also managed to stay within the actual giving there. For this next year, we are proposing a budget of $495,000, and that's a 4% increase over this year's budget.
Okay. Now, Tim, you are an expert in all things church budget related. Most people don't spend nearly as much time as you thinking about this kind of stuff. For people who are newer to this world, what do you want them to understand about how our budgets work here at Alderwood?
Yeah, so I think one of the big things I want people to know is that when you give, you're giving to a specific budget fund. And so if you go to our website and you're giving online at alderwood.cc/give, you can choose to give to the general fund or to the missions fund or to the Compassion Center fund. So if you're giving to the general fund, none of that money goes to either Compassion or to missions. So we'd really like to encourage people to consider giving to all three of those funds.
Thank you. And what about for people who have questions about these budgets, want to hear more of the details or understand why there was an increase or anything like that? How can they get more information?
Yeah, so they can come to Budget Q&A, which is on September 21st, 9:30 a.m. in E106. Come and ask me your budget questions. I'll be there and ready to address questions from anybody who shows up.
Awesome. And then if you have questions and can't make that meeting or just want a quicker answer, you can email us anytime at reach us at amcc.org. And if you want to start giving right now, you can do that at alderwood.cc/give. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at the annual meeting.